Well, good morning and welcome back to, as I often say, our fabulous final segment here on this week's CityLine. With me, I have a gentleman that I don't get to see enough. I'm hoping he takes that hint because he is the curator of the exhibits at the LeMay-America's Car Museum. Welcome back, Mr. Scot Keller.
Thank you. It's been a while, and I always enjoy being here.
I love having you here because I am one of those people that I dig cars big time.
Yeah.
My dad was a big car fanatic, and I loved my dad, and so we went everywhere looking at cars.
Yeah, it's really a fun place to be because of that, because that really describes a lot of people.
It does.
Everybody's got a memory of a car, or the car
Yes.
is part of something in their life, and usually it's a positive.
Well, we were talking about that in the green room, about that first car that you saw that was love at first sight.
Sure.
That probably bit you from that point on, and you're always looking for that car, or just helped you understand that cars are about memory and culture.
Sure, and people pretend to be rational about cars, but at the end of the day, it's very emotional.
It is.
You
It
know,
is.
It's as much a heart trip as his head.
It is. So it cannot be, because 2012, June 2nd, that was when we were there.
Mm-hmm.
You let TV Tacoma graciously cover the opening of the
fun
museum. That was very fun. It was windy, I remember,
Mm-hmm.
and we were out there, and Mr. Bulgari was there.
Yes.
I remember that.
Gave a passionate speech.
Oh, and I was in awe because I look at the house of Bulgari, from cars to fragrance. I was like, you cannot be standing here in the field in Tacoma.
Yeah, and then here's an Italian man who's absolutely not only passionate about American cars, but saving American history through the cars.
He is.
And he is so generous, because he'll take a vintage automobile and spend more money than it would ever be worth to preserve it, just because he's afraid if he doesn't do that, then the car will be lost forever.
It is.
So he really has preservation of American cars at his heart.
He does. This has become, I'm going to say, more than a world-class destination. When we first started out, we wanted it to be that. I believe it surpassed it. Tell me about that. How did it get to be so grand?
Well, like anybody that I work with would say, we have a really inspired, motivated group of people.
Yes.
It's not a large group, but there's a lot of focus, a lot of experience, a lot of creativity. So I think that lends itself to a better museum experience. And we're also learning. As we've now going in through our 6th year, what type of people are we engaging? How do we talk with them? What kind of stories we put in front of them? And I would say we're getting more diverse in terms of the people coming in, given the subjects that we're talking about. So.
Yeah. What motivated you to get involved in this industry as a career?
Well, I'm a third generation, what they call car guy. And I had 30 years working in the auto industry, an executive of both Chrysler and General Motors and so on. And along the way, I joined the board at America's Car Museum, which led to an offer to become an employee. And that was 9 years ago.
Oh,
so
my gosh.
I've gone from the for-profit side to the nonprofit side, and now all my colleagues in the corporations are saying, "You dirty dog, how the heck did you get that job?"
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm a car guy.
Sweet job. So what was your first car?
Oh, well, much to my father's chagrin at the time, because I grew up in a Chrysler family, it was an MGB GT.
What color?
Oh, cream yellow.
Oh,
Black
yeah,
leather
that
interior,
butter yellow.
chrome rims. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, he made a big deal about saying I had to buy my first car. He was not going to give it to me. So when I came home with the car that I bought, and he started getting gruff, my mom told him he could buy. He had to buy a car.
Yeah, you told him exactly, and you did. So your official title is Curator of Exhibitry for the museum, and you've featured some very iconic American cars to the world's most exotic. I mean, we're talking, paneled station wagon to, a Ferrari with suicide doors. Tell us about the new Tuner at the ACM exhibit.
Well, this is a really fun exhibit, and we've been wanting to do this for some time. I think a few years ago would have been a little bit more difficult because they said, well, what are tuner cars? And most of them are imports, not exclusively, but it's also a different type of a crowd, very young, very engaged, very technical and creative and so on. So I think it took a while in doing different exhibits. We felt that now was the time to embrace this this community. And it's a community most of the guests may recognize in the fun films of Fast and the Furious.
Yes.
So, highly technical, expressive cars, very, very creatively done. A lot of...
Vin Diesel.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, Fast and Furious.
So it's a subject that is part of our continuing push to do different things, bring different crowds in, and delight and surprise.
Was that the inspiration for the exhibit? Was to kind of do a little taste and see what kind of tuner demographic you got in?
Well, it was a little bit more than a taste. I mean, this is a 1-year exhibit. It's,
wow. Okay.
And a fair amount of time and effort goes into it. But it was a crowd that we wouldn't necessarily see in America's Car Museum, say just a few short years ago. But we've done that now with exotics. This last past winter, we had lowriders, which is a great community. So we're continuing to mix it up and bring in different crowds, and everybody's having fun.
I love that. Tell us about the hero cars for this exhibit.
Well, I'm literally supposed to be Switzerland when it comes to the hero cars. And this is one of those exhibits where I would say that all 17 cars are heroes because all of them are highly customized. In some cases, years and dozens of modifications going. So this is one that's really troubling to be able to say that there's one perfect hero car. All 17 are like individual works of art.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I remember when we were there for the opening, Fred, our producer, and I got to walk down the different levels. And after a while, I just wanted everything. I mean, there wasn't just one. I thought I would walk in just wanting one. I wanted everything.
Yeah, a lot of people react that way. And the other thing about favorites inside the museum, get asked that all the time, it doesn't necessarily tie to rarity, certainly doesn't tie to value, has to do with an emotional memory that you have of a car. We've got a 83 Mercury Marquis station wagon, the ubiquitous Momobile back in the day. And that car garners as much enthusiasm as a multi-million-dollar Ferrari. So
I wish you had a recorder next to that car just to hear the family stories of the road trips and what would happen in the back seat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There it is.
There you go.
Tell us about Glow, which is, of course, the exhibit preview on Saturday, November 10th. What is it and how do we get tickets?
Well, tickets are available at the museum. You can buy them at the door. It opens at 5 o'clock on Saturday. And it's really a fun party because at one level we're unveiling the automobiles. And the owners and the creators of the cars will be there with their friends and family. But this is going to be as much a party as it is a museum unveiling. So there's going to be great things to eat and drink, some entertainment. I think just a really fun evening, kind of leaning into the whole notion of the life of the tuner cars and Fast and the Furious, if you will.
I love that. And then the next day you generously... it's open to the public, but you're also offering complimentary military admission.
Yes.
And I love that.
Yes, it's a very important community for all of us here, and with the influence of the base, and obviously how much effort they put in serving. And it's also a group of folks that really do enjoy the cars. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's talk about the Bavaria, 75 years of BMW. Let's show that picture, and that's currently on display at the museum.
Yeah, this is an exhibit that was, again, another stretch for us. It's celebrating the 75 years of BMW motorsport. This is the first time in our history where we took a museum exhibit from another institution and brought it to America's Car Museum.
Wow.
So this was in the BMW Car Club of America Museum for some time in South Carolina. And we brought it lock, stock, and barrel and cars to America's Car Museum. And every one of them is a champion, iconic car with great history.
Yes.
And we literally scoured the country to bring those in from from the East Coast to Midwest, the West. And it's going to be here for just another 6 months.
So get in and see it, because every time I see a
Yeah.
Bavaria on the road, it's like, oh, you've got to be kidding
Yeah,
me.
and these are all iconic, award-winning
Beautiful.
race cars with pedigree. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Thank you so much for what you do, for the keen eye and the full heart that you curate with. And I love that you keep in mind that automobiles are the sweethearts of our memories. We all have a memory of a car, a time in our life, and it's something you want to pass on to your family. You want to talk about it with your children, because they one day are going to have their own car. So thank you for being such a great keeper of memories.
Appreciate that. It's great to work with an inspired group of people, and we have a lot of fun too.
Absolutely. So don't be a stranger. I want you back here first of the year, okay?
Anytime.
Don't make me stalk you, because I will.
Anytime.
All right, good.
Thank you.
Well, that wraps up another great segment of CityLine. It is always a pleasure and a privilege to be in your home. We've given you some really great things to think about in this past hour, so please go out there, be a part of the tapestry, and above all, pay it forward. And when you come back, as always, we'll be waiting for you right here at CityLine. Take care.